morning. We are, I was going to say ASMM. We are Marketing Moms. I'm Ann Brennan.
And I'm Anastasia Van Greshaby.
Sometimes I don't remember who I am from day to day. So that's
it's all right because I feel like at any point in time, I am Ann Brennan.
Yes, you are often Ann Brennan.
Tony is also Ann Brennan sometimes.
Yes. So between my email and signing things and all kinds of things.
Even on the phone.
Yeah.
You're like, what's the last word of your social? I'm like, let me tell you.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, that's how life is, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we are the Marketing Moms. Our job is to make marketing easy for you. If you have watched this or listened to this in the past, please take a minute to go over and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you're watching it or listening to it, because it really does help us out. We are a small business, so this is how we get the word out about us. But it also gives you great information to put to work for your business.
Yeah, we're going to teach you what you need to know and kind of keep you up to date. As things change, we're here. So make sure you leave us a review as well, anywhere you are. 5 stars, obviously.
Exactly.
And thanks for coming back.
All right. So today we're going to talk about, this is one of my favorite subjects. So, and I know you're the one who said, let's do this one. And I was like, oh, yes, because this is one of my favorite subjects. Use the tools you're given. We talk about this a lot. So do you want to explain what we mean?
Yeah. So I said use the toys you're given.
I know. I changed it because I was afraid there might be a negative connotation.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So all of these platforms that we're on have tools, or we call them toys. We like to call them toys. Things that you like, they come out with things all the time that are trying to promote some of them. The intention, I'm assuming the intention is always to make the user experience better. Whether or not that always works, if you're on Facebook, isn't always the case. But Google does a great job of putting things out, and you need to take advantage of everything that they give you.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is, you don't know what this is going to be. They don't call you and say, hey, by the way, they don't put out a press release. Hey, by the way, we've created this cool thing. You just have to stay on top of it.
Yep.
You have to stay up to date on marketing trends. And as a business owner, that's hard. So it is why people end up hiring us. But you can do it. So we're going to tell you a few ways. One is that we're going to tell you right away.
Yeah.
We tell you that's what we're here for. When something
we have big mouth. We both have a big mouth.
And we don't keep secrets.
No.
Don't tell us any secrets. We just can't do that. So definitely listen here. But also there is a podcast that's called the Social Media Marketing World Podcast. Every week, even I'm constantly learning something new there. So go over there, listen to that as well.
Hold on a second. What? I just realized we didn't talk about Naughty Luna.
Oh, we didn't talk about Naughty Luna. But this week we can double the fun.
Oh,
so, I have Luna, and she's a 8-month-old Great Dane, and she's about 110 pounds now. But I also have an older Great Dane, and he's 8. So this week, they've been painting the outside of my house.
Oh.
I don't think I've told you this story.
No, you have not.
And they've been painting the outside of my house, and it just didn't even occur to me what might possibly happen, because when they're in the house, I am aware. I'm like, there is paint, keep the dogs away from it. So I wasn't paying attention close enough, and I let them go out at the end of the day. First, all the painters were gone.
Okay.
That's the end of the day. And it's actually
reasonable.
Probably an hour after the painters had left. And Luna is gray and Rocky is black. Rocky goes down first, and he comes up. And I noticed first that his whole side of his face is white.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, interesting. And then he turns and he's got spots all down the sides. And I mean big spots, like big size of both my hands put together. Spots all down. He has clearly rubbed across something outside. So I called the painter. I'm like, so how do you get paint out of a dog?
Oh
and then I swear to God, Luna came up. She had nothing on her. I was like, awesome. That's so great. And then I got him all cleaned up, and she said she wanted to go outside, and I was still trying to clean him. And I let her outside, and she came back. whole side of her covered.
Not
in
to
wet
be
paint.
outdone by Rocky.
No. So we doubled the fun this week on our
So you just wash him off straight away?
I did. Yeah. I mean, he's still got some white.
So how do you get the dog paint? The paint off
Actually,
of the dog
luckily, it was not. It was. I was afraid that what's the kind? They have two different kinds. They have the
like
latex.
oil based.
Yeah. So it wasn't an oil based paint. So it was pretty easy. It's just
Water.
it's water, and a lot of scrubbing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So he still got some of it on there, but but if you'd seen him when he came home, I was like, oh my God.
And hold on a second. You didn't even take a photo, did you?
I did take a photo. I can send that to Amanda and she
okay.
can include it, but I didn't get the one with Luna because honestly, Blaze saw that one. And then he was so mad. I'm like, this is my life, sweetie.
Yeah.
This is my life. You're mad because it interrupted you sitting there having a drink at the end of the night.
Yeah.
I'm mad because it interrupted my day while I was trying to work. So anyway, all right. Back to the real life world. Oh, let's go back.
That some people just tune in for the Luna update.
I'm sure they do.
And it's a little bit entertaining.
Oh, she's
And I will tell you guys, I tell Ann not to tell me. I don't want to know the story until we're recording.
I have to say, I'm kind of hoping one day there are no stories that it's only like, oh, Luna was so cute today. She was so cute and good.
I know.
I do want to tell you one more thing. So, I drive a little Mini Cooper convertible, which counts in this story. And so Luna, at the end of the day, she loves the convertible. So even if it's cold, I will let her ride a little bit with the top down.
Oh.
But when we first started this, she was really little. So I could see her between the seats. Now she stops traffic. So we have to be very careful when she's buckled in, but people will put on their brakes going down the highway if they see her because they're like, oh, there's a great day. It's so cute.
You should say #Luna.
Exactly. That's what you
if people take your picture, if people take her photo, just like
hashtag Luna.
You should have a sign #Luna.
Exactly. There you go. So all right. So let's get back to staying up to date on marketing trends. It is so important that you do because things change very quickly. And I'm going to give you a really good example. We noticed this during COVID right away. When COVID first started and everything started closing down, Google My Business added, and by the way, Google My Business is now Google Business Profile, but they added a COVID update for your individual page, which meant you could go in and say, we're closed, but we're offering this service.
Yeah,
right?
Like curbside pickup, or even there was masks required. I think wasn't there one about vaccination?
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of how we clean things up or whatever we did. So there were so many things you could do. But they also at one point added you can buy gift cards, right? And here's the link to my gift card. And that was not something that had been there before. If you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. And that's one of the reasons when you suggested that we switch from the Small Business Connections podcast to this one and Marketing Moms, I loved the idea because I thought, yeah, we can give you these things as they come, because we'll call our clients and say, hey, we're going to be doing this for you. Or, hey, we'll call friends and say, hey, your business, I know you don't use us, but you should be doing this, right? We're letting people know, but this is a great way to do it.
Definitely.
Yeah. So stay up to date. You can do that here. You can do that at social media. They don't quite go into the detail we do, and they don't have a Luna dog. So, there's that.
And it's guys. Who wants to talk to guys? You've got a woman that's from North Carolina and an Aussie.
There you go. That's a much better way to do it.
Yeah.
But do stay up to date. It is important. You can listen to us in the car on the way home, however you want to do it. We'll give you those updates. So you love, I think, Google Business as much as I do.
I love Google. I love Google Business Profile. I love everything about it. It's so easy to use. And I truly believe they are trying to help small businesses.
Oh, yeah.
They are constantly updating. Not that the other platforms are not. The other platforms everything's always being updated, which is what we're saying. You need to come here and find out what's going on. But Google Business Profile, when COVID hit, they were trying so hard to update the public, to keep small businesses afloat. Because, there's all these big businesses all over the country, but small businesses are like the backbone of communities. If you don't have small businesses in your community and you only have those big chains, is it a community?
Right. Absolutely.
You're going to miss out on things,
Absolutely.
I mean, you can see that when you drive through areas where there's no small business, it's just, there's a different feel.
There absolutely is.
And
yeah.
so that's what I think. That's why I love Google Business Profile.
Yeah,
because-
and they do. You have to keep up to date because they add things all
Mhm.
the time. They make it easier for you to use. They add a new tool. You know, it wasn't that long ago that they were adding the that you could add products. That was a new one. That you could add posts. That was a new one a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
So look and see what those tools are and use them.
And there are a lot of changes coming with Google Business Profile. You will be editing them in Maps soon, so that's coming. So we'll keep you updated as that happens. I think ours look a little bit different because we manage so many clients. But yeah, just you need to be in there. You need to be updating it, and you need to be just looking like.
Absolutely.
Hey, and we're not talking every day.
No,
We're not talking every day. Every couple of weeks, even even once a month. It's then obviously if something comes out and you've just checked it and it comes out tomorrow and you wait another month, then you're going to be behind a little bit. But just be in there checking your things to make sure they work.
Absolutely. And then keep in mind that when they give you these tools, you get rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
You get rewarded because they want those tools to do well. And so they show you to more people.
Yes.
Right? They show you to more people because you're using their tools. So we say, play with the toys because that's what they want you to do.
Exactly. It's like, remember in Super Mario Brothers, totally dating myself, but that was my thing. I love Super Mario Brothers 3. You would get the coins and then you'd get a life at the end, and my kids play like Minecraft and Zelda, and there are things that they have to earn along the way in order to get into a different category or something, I don't know because I just don't, I'm still stuck in the 80s with the Super Mario Brothers, but that's how you kind of have to think about it. It's a video game and you're trying to get the points so that your reward is being seen by more people.
Absolutely.
That is your reward. Those extra lives that we were getting in Super Mario Brothers, yours are customers.
Yes.
Yours are views on your website. Yours are views on your social media and views of your Google Business Profile.
Absolutely. Yeah. So pay attention and Google My Business Google Business Profile. It just changed. I mean, I guess probably 4 months ago.
Yeah,
I'm still behind.
Months,
The other thing that people forget about are events.
Mm.
And they may remember Facebook events because that's been around for a while. But Google added events and LinkedIn added events. And if you post your event there, they're going to do really well. Now, people, where they forget them is they forget about the ongoing events, right? They forget, oh, well, I do this comedy show every week. Well, create an event for it every week. Right? Create something over and over again so people are seeing it. It will make a difference. And it makes a difference on all 3 of those platforms.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. You definitely want to be on Google.
Actually, Facebook now, I've noticed if you post something in there that's about an event, you're creating a post and you put it in into Facebook directly, it will actually ask you, do you want to create an event for this?
Yes.
And why is it doing that? So it's telling you, you've posted about this. I want you to create an event for it. Why are they doing that? If they're doing that, they're telling you, this is how we're going to get more people to look at your stuff.
Absolutely.
This is how we're going to get more people to your event. And this is how we're going to boost you. Because if you are using the tools that they're providing, they're going to reward you.
Yes, absolutely. It's so important. The next one, I'm going to talk about stories and reels. And so this is Instagram sort of specific, but not really because TikTok just released stories, right? And so you have stories there now, and you have stories on Facebook, and you have sort of a story feature on Twitter. These story features are in a lot of places, right? So if they give you something like that, they're giving them to you for a reason, and they're going to show them. So I picked this, I said it this way in particular, that I said stories and reels, because stories were really big for a while, right? And they still are doing well, but reels came out next. And if you do reels, you're going to be seen much, much faster, right? Because they want you to use that toy. They want you to use that toy. It's so important to use the toy. This is a short episode. I'm wondering if there are other things.
I do have something about Instagram while we're on this Instagram thing. What I want you guys to do is go into your Instagram page and make sure in the account settings, in the profile information, I think it's called, look and make sure you have a date of birth in there. So it didn't used to require it, but I'm noticing, especially using a third-party scheduler, where sometimes we'll get an error, and the error is because that particular client doesn't have a date of birth in their Instagram. So go into your Instagram, make sure you have a date of birth. And you know, if you're not using your own, which you know, write it down somewhere, because you might need it at some point. Because there are some accounts that you can't get into unless you put the date of birth in. So make sure that you're using it, and I would suggest use your own date of birth. It doesn't matter. It's nobody's thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a good example of staying up to date. That is something that's just now happening that we're seeing. And here's the thing. Don't beat yourself up because you're not getting those same things, right?
Yeah.
We're seeing, 50 accounts at a time. Yeah. And so we get a lot of things.
And it's been happening for a little while, but now it's actually starting to impact whether we're able to, like, it's been happening where we've been like, oh, we got to get into this, but it's very slow moving. Our understanding is all of these accounts are stored on like different servers. And as certain servers are updated, that impacts things. This is where you're going to see Facebook, where if you have a business page on Facebook, it's going to start looking different because there is a new way. They're opening these profiles now for you. So it's a different way of managing your business page. Not everybody is there. We've seen them. Right. I mean, I think that this change started happening, I want to say last summer.
Okay.
Or last fall. Remember, we only had a couple of clients.
Right.
And still we have 43 clients. We are not everybody's on this still. I would say maybe half right now.
Yeah.
But it does impact how things work. This has impacted my frustration with Facebook, which is why I get so angry, because at the beginning of these, anytime something new is released and they're changing, like when new Facebook came out, remember, like there were all these issues. Well, with these new profiles, there were certain things that were unavailable at certain times, and it was frustrating. Now I feel like they're doing a much better job. They've definitely worked out some kinks, but that's going to keep happening. So these are changes that are happening. Have a look, play around, see what's going on. Make sure your settings are correct.
Yes, make sure your settings are correct. And you know what? And that's another place to go in and look. So they give you the toys. One of the toys is the settings. Mm-hmm. Go into the settings, see what's new, see what's happening there, because there may be something there that you're totally missing out on because you haven't clicked, yes, I want that.
Well, what about tagging ability? So you need to make sure, if you're a business, that people can tag you. And I can tell you that not every business does that. No, whether or not they've turned the setting off themselves and they're like, I don't want to be tagged, which if you don't want to be tagged, then you're just missing out on the point.
Business. That's not a good
thing.
If you don't want to be tagged,
social media.
So, because the truth is that when somebody comes into your business, the truth is you should be coming up with a way. This is one we should do a podcast on. You should be coming up with a way for them to create user-generated content for you, right? And so you want them to be able to create content and say, oh my God, I love this place so much, and then tag you, right? And if you're afraid, I'm just going to say this from a business owner standpoint, if you're afraid of them being able to tag you, then you need to reassess your customer service.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're afraid of that, then you need to reassess your customer service, because people generally, yes, you may get some idiot who says something bad about you, but for the most part, that does not happen. So if that's what you're fearful of, you need to really reassess your customer service. It's really important. So, all right, I want to remind you. Do you want to remind them? You remind them.
We have a blog. So go to asmmdigital.com/blog. There you will find all the information that you need to do the marketing yourself. So really, you don't have to hire an agency, but we're here if you want to, because not everybody wants to do their own marketing.
Absolutely.
For instance, my brother-in-law changes the oil in his vehicles. I don't know why. There's mechanics to do that.
Yes, exactly. So we are here, but there's so much good information there. Go over, check it out. Let us know what you've learned there too. We'd love to hear that. If you have questions, we're always here to answer them.
You know what we need a slide about?
What?
Our content. Social media content calendar.
We do. We
need a slide about this. We talked about it last week, but let's talk about it again today.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell
You
it?
tell them.
So we created a content calendar. Here's the thing. When you come home at the end of the night and somebody asks you, what's for dinner? Isn't it better if like you could cook dinner if they would just tell you what they wanted, right? It's so much easier to cook if somebody tells you what they want. Well, social media is the same way. It's very hard to figure out what to post on social media. So this calendar is meant to give you that. It's meant to help you with that. And it's for you individually. So we create it with you. We sit down with you and we come up with what you're going to say about your business and what makes your business stand out. It is not this one's for plumbers and this one's for restaurants. It's not that. This is very personalized. It's a one-time fee and it covers that. You get the whole content calendar that we've worked through with you and all of the ideas that go in it and our consultation. So it's a really big one-time package. It's not actually, it's
not, and we don't take many people. It's
We
a
don't take many people.
limited thing that we do every month. And we want to make sure that whoever's getting it is getting their money's worth. And you know what? I love that analogy because I like to cook,
yeah.
but I do not like at night not knowing what I'm making. And actually, you know what? I forgot my crock pot. I forgot to put my stuff in my crock pot today. And I was going to make something in the crock pot. So that is something I have a plan every week. Sometimes I'll do it. Actually, last week we did it for 2 weeks because I was sitting in the car with my whole family. And sometimes it's like pulling teeth to try and get them to tell me what they want to eat. But last week it was, I want this, I want this, I want this. And I was like, oh, so we ended up with a list of 2 weeks. And it makes my life so much easier.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what the content calendar does, right?
Yes.
It's like you can take the calendar, and because people will call me all the time and they'll say, what do you think I should post? What kind of things? And I start telling them, they're like, oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Well, if we're giving you those things to post, it makes your life so much easier. You don't have to sit down and think about it. Plus, it's not just for 2 weeks. It is a big calendar. It will get you through, honestly, in some cases, several years.
Oh, yeah. There's a lady that I went to speak that I listened to at Social Media Marketing World, and she said she did 100 days worth of content and has repurposed it for 5 years.
Yes, we can help you figure that out in a way that makes sense for you. That's what this is. So I'll tell you, before we go, I do want to say, why did we create it? We created it because we work with, we say small to medium-sized companies. It's really companies that are small, established companies. And the problem is that there are people who are just starting who need our help.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to help, but there's only so much of us. And so this is our way of saying, but we can do this.
Yeah.
We can do this. And so we take a few clients a month on this particular program and we'll sell you this. I was going to say, give it to you. We don't give it to you. There is a price involved, but it is a very, very valuable piece of information that you're going to walk away with, a very powerful tool that you're going to walk away with. Use the tools that you're given. Use the tools that you can buy that work for you. That's what we do. So yeah, we need to create a slide for that.
Yeah.
So, all right. We hope you have a great day. You're heading out of town for another tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Volleyball
season's about done.
Zane has a gig tonight at a private party, so I don't get to go, which I always hate when he gets to play and I don't get to hear him. Mm-hmm. So that's my weekend. Hope you have a great one. See you soon.
Bye.